Hello, everyone. It's Zach. Tim is not here, but I am posting the rebuttal on his behalf and mine as well, obviously. So, this is a copy of Abby and Laura's rebuttal to our case, and this is part of their PowerPoint. As far to address their rebuttal, our case was not based on personal opinion. We did actually cite law. The question at hand was not if Bill was negligent, it was did he owe a duty, and if he did, was that duty breached? Now, in our case, we did define what a duty was as far as Ohio case law is concerned. Now, according to Abby and Laura's rebuttal, they believe that we were unclear on the assignment as we brought up proximate cause and did not make the case for the defendant have no foreseeability, which has no relevance elements of duty. That is flat out wrong. This case right here, as defining what a duty is, right here, the threshold question of the existence of a duty depends on the foreseeability of the injury. So foreseeability does have to do with duty. It's a very important element on whether or not a duty exists. We addressed this in our argument as well, the smell of gasoline, the route he took, and that's why we stated that he had no duty of care because he exercised his normal duty of care when he stopped to smoke a cigarette. And the cases they cited here, this case states that this defendant, Jack Bobler, I guess is what his name is almost totally blind. And that doesn't diminish the standard of care, which assumed. This degree of disability is far different than our client's. This man is almost totally blind. Our client is totally blind. So the duty of care would be far different between these two people, as well as this particular lady here who is partially deaf. Partially deaf and complete blindness are two completely different degrees of disability. If this woman were in this same situation, she would be able to read the signs and she would have avoided the same situation. Our opponent's main argument was that our client Bill should have known where he was because he walks the route once a week. Now, that is a circumstantial argument. By contrast, I drive the same route to class every day, and I couldn't tell you every store, every gas station that is on my route. Just because the man walks the route every day doesn't mean he knows where everything is or what is where, per se. It just means he knows how to get from point A to point B without getting lost. As far as the smell of gasoline, which they brought up multiple times, we stated that that smell could have come from bus stops, from other cars passing by, and unless you were really next to the pumps, it would be difficult to smell the gasoline anyway, and he could have thought that that smell came from anything else. Also, how you smell is objective. We can't objectively measure how strong Bill's sense of smell is. Also, the question, did the client have a duty to act reasonably? He did act reasonably. He's been a smoker his entire adult life, and every day he smokes, he has the same routine. He stops, he lights a cigarette, and he smokes. So, if we can say that he's, smokes a pack a day for, 10 years? Something like that? I forget how old he was, or he was 45, I believe. That's a lot of cigarettes where nothing has happened. So, and also he didn't know he was at a gas station, so he exercised the same diligence as he normally does. So he did not owe an extra duty. in this instance. Also here, the standard of care exercise is still ordinary care. If he used that degree of care that an ordinary person exercised, he was not negligent. Our argument was mainly that he did exercise the same duty of care that a normal person was, but he did not have the duty towards the gas station itself. Because, or the people around him, because he didn't know he was at a gas station. He had no way of knowing he was at a gas station. Really, any person at that station would have noticed he was blind and could have alerted him. It would be a different scenario if a patron customer told him he was at a gas station and he continued to light a cigarette, but in this case, no one did. No one alerted him that he was at a gas station and that he could cause a fire or explosion or whatever. He had absolutely no way of knowing. And so yeah, he had no way of knowing he was at a gas station. Whether or not he could smell it is circumstantial. The smell, he could have interpreted the smells from passing cars, or maybe he just didn't smell it at all. But as far as their rebuttal on the fact of foreseeability has no relevance, it has every sense of relevance, as I stated earlier. Depends on foreseeability of injury. Bill could not have possibly foreseen that this would happen simply by lighting a cigarette. So that is our rebuttal for their case, and I hope everyone has a good day. See you in class.